Hello, you're listening to the Eric McKenna Project.
Good to see you.
Oh man, Eric, man, it's good to be back.
How long now?
E-Mac, it's been over a year.
You came here and then the world went to shit.
Yeah, I know. That's what happens, man. I show up and everything goes south.
You know, it's crazy. You were on last time and we talked about, where you grew up. I grew up not too far apart from each other. And
right.
As soon as you were on, all these people that I grew up with that I haven't seen in a while were like, you got T-Robe on. He's the funniest mother ever.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, I could not believe how so many people that were in my sphere already.
Then
I was like, holy shit.
It's almost like we should have known each other prior to.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean?
Like, Rick Bourne? Her name ring a bell?
Yeah, I know Rick Bourne.
Rick. Yeah, I was in high school with Rick, man.
I know Rick Bourne,
yeah. So he goes, you got T-Robe on. Shit straightened up.
Straightened up.
So, anyways.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was just, the connection was amazing. But again, I love the fact that you're back doing your thing. I watched you carefully do it last year.
Yes. All right, so here's the deal. So
spill my own shit. God damn it. Thank God it ain't real beer.
Right. Party foul. Here's the deal. A good friend of mine, his name is Gary Owen. Mm-hmm. He's a national touring comedian and headliner, and he kills it. He's a good friend of mine. I'm talking, he's been friends with me for 20 years.
20.
By
the way, this is your 20th anniversary.
My 20th anniversary in March was my 20th anniversary doing comedy. Thank you very much.
20 years
of doing stand-up comedy. So Gary Owen, good friend of mine. Let me give you some backstory on Gary Owen, because all the younger comics are like, how the hell do you get to tour with a national comedian? How do you get to do it? And it's not about, and here's the deal, it's not about how funny you are. It's not about how good you are. You don't. It's more of like I'm an accessory of sorts.
Okay.
So when you have to understand that you yourself aren't the headliner. Granted, I may be in San Antonio, Texas, or I may be in Miami, or
Understood.
I may be in. But when I go on stage, I do my thing, and I don't go over the light. I don't go over my time. There's a courtesy thing there. Mm-hmm. With Gary, I'm gonna take this back to how Gary and I met.
Okay.
Gary was performing at the Pittsburgh Improv. I happened to go there, and I was married at the time to my first wife.
Okay.
So I go to the Pittsburgh Improv because I'm a comedian fan. I'm a comic fan. And I go there, and this is probably 1999.
It's about 20 years ago.
Yeah, or 21 years ago.
Right before you started.
Right before I started.
Got it. Yeah.
So I go there, and I remember I'm like wearing, I was on a date with my wife. And we weren't even married then. We were boyfriend and girlfriend. And I remember I had brand new Timberland boots on. These boots cost like $120, but if you know anything about the black community, you know that Timberland boots were like a staple for a long. They still are actually.
For a long time.
Yeah, for a long time.
Are they still in vogue?
They're still in style.
Okay.
So, but I don't wear them anymore because I need to be athletic and mobile. I need Jordans, So I'm literally there. I got these jeans on. I got this nice outfit on, brand new out the box Timberland boots, and me and my wife were sitting there. We're front row, and I remember watching Gary. And Gary remembers this story. It's the funniest thing because Gary's his memory is impeccable. He remembers everything.
Okay.
So he's in the middle of his set. I'm sitting there with my girlfriend or fiance at the time. We're watching the show, and this kid in front of me was trashed. He was drunk. He had a Heineken, mind you. Right? Had a Heineken beer.
A real Heineken.
He spilled. He was drunk and dropped the beer.
Oh man!
The beer shattered, and the beer splattered on my Timbs. Gary says he looked at me in the middle of his set and saw that I was about to kill this kid. Because you don't do that to a black man's Timbs. Like, you don't do that to the butters. We call them butters. You don't do that to the butters. So I'm like, looking.
Oh, man.
Gary's looking. And at that point, I didn't give a shit about his set. I was literally like, I don't care about comedy. My Timbs are messed up. Right. So I go off. I'm like, what? I can't believe this, and I'm like freaking out. Gary's like, whoa. He's like, bro, I'll buy you a pair of new Timbs if you just let me get through my set in the middle of the show. Gary said that to me, and then I calmed down. Gary sent me a drink. I calmed down. I'm like there wiping my boots off. He's like, look at him. He won't quit. Like 5 minutes later, I'm still wiping my boots off. I got him off of my lap, wiping my. That's how anal I was about my boots.
Yeah, right on.
after the show, me and Gary got to talking. That was the first time that I met Gary.
Now, were you already thinking about being a comedian?
I was thinking about doing comedy, I didn't start. Now, if you recall, the last time I was here, I told you how I got started because I went to U.S. Airways, living in Philadelphia, and this is right around that time when I moved to Philadelphia.
Okay,
and then I was always some silly dude, you silly guy should be a comedian. And then I started doing comedy, and I told you about the Tommy, what's my man's name? Tom from 11 Color.
Oh my God, you're going back, man.
What is his name? Tommy Davidson. Right? Tommy Davidson. So Tommy Davidson was same thing. I was dating another girl. We went. That's what I do. I take girls to comedy clubs.
It's a recurring theme there.
We go and I'm watching. The show, and I see Tommy doing his thing, and the same thing with Gary. Was just watching intently, with the thought in the back of my head, can I do stand-up comedy?
Okay.
And so one thing about me, man, that you'll know about me and you'll understand, you'll get to learn about me is, like, if I try something, I get to be pretty decent at it. Like, I'm a good bowler, I'm a good golfer, I'm a good skier.
Obsessed.
These are all, they're all white guy sports because, I was always told black guys shouldn't ski, black guys shouldn't golf, black guys shouldn't bowl. I'm dope at all of them.
All right,
I carry a 206 in bowling. I'm a 10 handicap in golf, and I ski black diamonds. Like, what you want to do.
Damn.
Yeah, truth and all factual.
All right.
Yeah. So
it did surprise me when I saw the skiing photos about a month or two ago.
Is that right?
Surprised me a little bit. Surprised me a little bit.
Man. Yeah. I'm an avid skier. Get a ski pass at Seven Springs.
Right on.
Was out Tahoe a couple months ago skiing.
Right on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So Gary, he does his thing that weekend. He leaves or whatever. So probably, let's fast forward this thing. I moved to Philadelphia, then worked for U.S. Airways. Then 9/11 happened. Then I come back home.
Okay.
And I'm living back home because I was living in Philadelphia. I was based in Philadelphia. I had to come back home, and this ties into the old story of me starting to do comedy in Pittsburgh.
Right.
It's like years 2002, and I have been doing comedy for probably about a year and some change at that point. And I walked down to the Pittsburgh Improv. I walked up to the window, walked up to the window, knocked on the window and said, "You guys hiring comedians? I'm a comic." Lady goes, "Let me go and get the general manager." His name was Jerome at the time. She goes and gets him, comes out. He goes, "Oh, yeah, you're a comedian?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've only been in comedy." I knew right away to lie. So I was like, like 6 years. "Oh, man, I need a comic this weekend to open for Bill Bellamy. Can you feature?" Now, when you feature, there's 3 positions in comedy on a main stage, right? So you got the MC, you got the feature, who's the second act, and then you have the headliner, who's the big name.
Right.
The feature, the MC does about 10 minutes. The feature does about 20 or 25.
Okay.
And then the headliner typically does an hour.
Okay.
You
skipped the MC level. You went right to the feature.
I had about 6 minutes to my name. I didn't do no open. I did a couple open mics. I did one competition at that point, but I didn't go to the MC. So I had about 6 minutes of comedy to my name, of material. And he goes, "You want to feature this weekend?" And I knew what features got paid. And I was like, "Oh, yeah, absolutely, I want to feature," right? He says to me, he goes, "Good, you're on tonight. See you. First show starts at 8 o'clock. Mine just like noon." I went home. I'm scribbling. I'm writing. I get on my stage, and nothing stuck that I wrote down.
So you got 6 minutes in.
I didn't. I was smart enough to know not to shoot my shot with the 6 minutes up front.
Right.
I started off with happy birthdays. Who has a birthday? Oh, that's crazy. Give me a round of applause. I hit up about 5 minutes on happy birthday shout outs. Then I went into my set.
Does that work?
It worked. It worked. I was like just jumping from people to people. I'm like, you don't look 60, you look 70. Like one of those things. It worked. I got over. Then I did my 6 minutes. People died laughing because my 6 minutes was strong. Then after that, it was, "What do you do for a living?" Then I started riffing off the top of the head. But I was witty enough to take what somebody did for a living. And I remember a couple shows, like somebody said, they were a nurse, and somebody said they had cancer, and I tried to hook the two of them up. And then it was like a dating game thing, and then it was like long story short, we did 6 shows that weekend.
Okay.
By the time I got to my 6th set, I had a solid 20-minute set based on the crowd.
Wow.
And I wrote my own set that weekend out of fear of failure. Like I was scared to fail. So I wrote my own set.
Yeah.
So that's how I got started. And then, so fast forward this thing a couple years, Gary On comes back to town. He's working with another comedian from Pittsburgh, and this comedian was like telling jokes that he's stolen. And Gary even told a joke that Gary wrote. And Gary was like, I got to fire this guy. We're in a nightclub. I didn't even go back to the comedy club this weekend. We're just in the nightclub, me and my boy, we're hanging out, and Gary comes to the nightclub after his shows to party.
Right.
So we're in there, we're drinking, whatever. My boy T goes up to him and goes, hey, man, I got a comic I want you to meet. He goes, who is it? The guy points at me. He goes, tell him to come over. He goes, is he funny? He goes, yeah, he's funny. He goes, hey, man, you want to come down tomorrow and do a guest set? Let me see how you are.
Okay.
I go down, Pittsburgh Improv. I do a guest set. He, afterwards, he goes, you're hilarious. After the show, though, I say, you want to go get a drink? He goes, yeah. We go across the street to Rock Bottom.
Uh-huh.
We're over at Rock Bottom, and we're just drinking. I say, hey, man, I met you before a couple years back. I don't know if you remember this. He goes, what? I said, dude, broke a beer bottle and it got on my Timbs. He started dying laughing. He's like, that's you? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you're a comedian then? I'm like, nah, I just started, I was coming to watch you to get inspired, and so long story short.
That's cool.
We developed a friendship then.
Right.
So if you fast forward this thing a little bit further, I did some road dates with him. I went to Cincinnati. He saw that I was in it for the right reason. I went to Cincinnati for no money and did guest sets every night for a weekend.
Okay.
On him. Paid for my own hotel, my own gas, everything.
Yeah.
Paid my own food. Didn't ask for him a dime. Just went just to do a different guest set every night, just to show him that I wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm.
He fell in love with me. He was like, "You're in it for the right reason. As you don't have your hand out." At the end of the weekend, he goes, "Hey, here's $200 for for at least cover the gas." We developed a friendship. Went home. He took me on cruises. I've done cruise ships with Gary. I've done mini tours with him where I do 3 or 4 cities.
Right.
And then this last year happens. Now everyone knows I'm not really an opener anymore. I'm a headliner now.
Yep.
So I'm on my way to headlining. Mm-hmm. And that was the whole thing. I headlined at Pittsburgh Improv 3 times now.
Right.
And 3 weekends that I had. And I was on my way to headlining and being national.
Right.
And then the pandemic hit and it shut everything down. I started getting weirded out because I'm a guy who needs the stage. That's my therapy. Mm-hmm. So I started getting weirded out, and I think I was putting things on Facebook. In fact, today one of my memories came up that I was just ranting, I can't believe this shit. I'm sitting around. I remember
seeing a few of those from you.
Yeah, I'm sitting around, and my comedy career is over. I had spent 19 years at that point, a year ago, 19 years.
All the shit we were being told that how society was going to look going forward, right?
And I'm like, I got to go get a regular job now. Yeah. I literally make my money full time. Yes, people, I make full time money doing comedy. That's the weirdest question. People I'm like, I'm a comedian. They're like, what else do you do? What do you want me to say? I make porn on the side. I'm a porn star on the side. Yeah, that's what I do. What do you want me to say? I'm jacking off in the corner. Can I say that? Jacking off? Well, I just did.
Saying you want.
Yeah, so I don't know what people think when they think about comics or whatever. I get it. Lower scale comics who are doing open mics. Yeah, they're not making money and they all have other jobs.
Right.
I'm 20 years in.
Right.
If I'm not making money at this in 20 years,
right,
I need to get another career.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what was that like for you? Just take me back for a second. I know you mentioned that. I remember some of the posts, but what was it like to not know what the hell was going to happen tomorrow? I mean, because again, you're a performer. You perform in front of people, live events, groups of people, and everything we were being told initially on was that life is going to look much different going forward.
Well, here it was. You got a guy who suffers from a little bit of depression, as most comics do.
Yeah.
And I'm being told that my therapist died, pretty much, because comedy's my therapy.
Got it.
So imagine what I'm thinking in my head. I can't get on stage. Okay, how am I going to pay my bills? That's number one. Mm-hmm. Number two, who do I go and talk to? Because I need comedy to voice my opinion and go over what I'm doing in my life. Mm-hmm. And then number three was I have a daughter. At the time my daughter was 7, and I'm like, she needs me to be sane. I had to get my shit together, and it was hard for me to do. It was one of those things where I was venting, and anyone that knows me knows that I've always DJ'd on the side. I'm a part-time DJ,
right?
And I do it for fun, not because, for the money. I do it because I like to do it. Right. I like to see people party and have a good time, and I'm the source. That's what comedy is to me. If I'm making you laugh and you're not thinking about your bills, your problems, that dumb bitch who was fucking with you last week, you're not thinking about her, you're not thinking about nothing else, your kids.
You're bringing the party.
I'm bringing the party. I'm the entertainer.
Yeah.
You're getting entertained.
Yeah.
So I do the same thing with DJing. And if I can I like to take a crowd that's like sitting there just chilling. And then next thing you know, you see them chair dancing. And then they're up twerking. I'm like, I did that. I did that. That gives me my gratification. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there was a point where I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Then I stopped feeling bad for myself. What I did was I was the first DJ in Pittsburgh to go live. So I went live from my basement.
I remember that.
DJing.
I remember that.
And at one point, there was 13,000 viewers.
I remember seeing that, too.
At one point, there was 13,000 viewers.
I didn't know that was really a big part of your persona until I saw that.
People were sharing it. Like, I'm talking like, so it came up on my memory the other day. I looked at it, and now it has like 16,000 views.
Right on.
Like, people are just sharing it. Yep. And all I did was play old school hip-hop and R&B. I'm talking like Bobby Brown, New Edition, Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder. I was playing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Family friendly. Yeah. People were. I announced that I was going to go live earlier in the day.
I remember.
People started tipping me.
And that's from your basement?
From my basement, just on my iPhone, going live.
That's crazy.
People were tipping me. I made $3,000 in one night.
I believe it.
And I was like, whoa. Maybe I'm not a comedian no more. Just pay me $3,000 live from my house. I gotta leave my house and I make $3,000. So I started doing it once a week. I started going live, and of course the tips got less and less, and the viewers got less and less. But it was more or less fun for me. And then here was the problem. I think after my third or fourth time doing it, Facebook yanked me
because of the copyright.
Yeah, because of the copyright of the music. They sent me an email like, "Hey, you got to quit going live playing this music." I'm like, it's a pandemic. Like people are we just want to have fun.
Right.
So, long story short, I quit doing that. But I had that short period of time where I was having fun, and then I started putting on Facebook again. Like, can't believe this pandemic. This is crazy. Mm-hmm. My career's over. At least 2 years from now, before I get on stage, 18 months.
Yeah.
And Gary saw it.
Okay.
So then Gary calls me. So this goes back to the Gary thing, how me and Gary linked up.
Right.
Gary calls me and goes, "Hey, cuz, you all right? The fuck you putting on Facebook?" I'm like, "No, I'm not all right. I'm like freaking out over here." He's like, "Calm down. It's going to come back, bro. I promise you. I'll talk to my agency. It's a couple months. We'll be back out there. It might be at a smaller percentage." Mm-hmm. But I said, "Nah, G." I said, "You understand? Pittsburgh Improv still isn't open. Currently, right now. Yeah. And this is a year ago he and I were having this conversation.
So things around in Pittsburgh and being in Pennsylvania, it looked brutal. It played out brutal.
It looked bad. It looked bad for us. And I told Gary that, and he goes, "All right." He goes, "Calm down." He goes, "I got some calls. Now, this is the deal. Republican or Democrat, I don't give a shit who you celebrate. I don't. Mm-hmm. I don't care about that. That doesn't bother me. Mm-hmm. I see what it is now. Republicans basically, like, they want their guns and they want their money. Like, you don't bother that, right? All the Republican states stayed open. I could do comedy in all the Republican states.
Right.
Texas, Florida,
Phoenix,
Arizona, Ohio,
right.
All the Republican states. That's where we've been touring and doing our shows.
Yep.
And all Democratic states can't even do comedy here. Or it's at like 25%, which isn't even worth it,
Yeah.
So we're doing these shows, and every city we go to, you normally do 6 shows in a weekend from Thursday to Sunday, which is doable. That's 1 on Thursday, 1 on Sunday, 2 Friday, 2 Saturday. Mm-hmm. I'm doing 12 shows in a weekend, bro.
People were starving for entertainment?
People were starving for entertainment, and not only that, it's at 50% capacity.
Yeah.
So if you go 50% capacity,
it's double the work.
That other 50% still wants to see the show.
It's double the work, too.
So imagine, all right, so I'll give you an example. Last Saturday, I'm in Baltimore. I did 4 shows one night. Saturday night, I did 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 9:30, 11:45.
Wow.
Exhausted. Woke up at 7 a.m., drove home for the Easter Bunny. So my daughter could have the Easter Bunny. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just.
I'm surprised Maryland's open though. That's a Democratic liberal run state.
But they're open to.
Is that 25%? You had to do it 4 times.
No. We had 180 per show.
Wow.
180 per show, and we did Baltimore, the Comedy Factory. We did it 2 weekends in a row.
Yeah. Okay.
So we did 9 shows the first weekend and 10 the second weekend.
Okay.
So it's 19 shows in 12 days.
That's a lot of shows.
Yeah. That's closer to
home. That's drivable though, right?
It's drivable. Yeah. It took me 3.5 because I live on the east side of Pittsburgh. I live out in Murraysville area.
Yeah.
So it took me like 3.5 hours to get there.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. But I mean, you get tired of talking about fat bitches with little titties. Like, you get tired of that. Like 4 times in a row in one day. You're like, all right, I get it. I hate fat bitches with little titties. Fuck. Receding hairlines and cornrows.
Oh,
We're
my
tired of
God,
that.
dude. Oh, my God. Texas has been good to you, right? Arizona,
Texas was good to me to a point.
Okay.
San Antonio got 4 inches of snow, and I was stuck.
Dude, that's what I want to talk to you about.
Yeah, I got stuck in San Antonio for 2 weeks.
Of course you did.
And they had 4 inches of snow, which ain't shit here. Life goes on here. But there, they don't have snow plows.
Everything's shut
They don't
down.
have salt. You know what they're putting on the roads? Sand. They were putting sand on the roads.
Okay.
I'm like, that doesn't help with ice. What the fuck are you doing? That's so stupid. What are you doing?
That's a mess is what that is.
Man, and here's the deal. They had to wait until the shit melted. So for about 5 days, the first 3 of that 5 days, nothing was open. I couldn't get food. There was a CVS that was open.
That's
Luckily.
crazy.
And you know what I ate? I went there and I got 7 bottles of wine. I cleared the wine. Because I was like, fuck it, I'm getting drunk. 7 bottles of wine. I got a case of Stella.
Okay.
And I got, and I don't even drink beer like that. I'm more of a vodka and wine guy.
Yeah.
And I got a case of Stella, a half a case. I got a half a case of Stella, and all the chips they had. I had like 8 bags of chips. They should see me like going back to my hotel. All this shit, my bags were all heavy. Had them triple bag. I'm like, my hotel was across the street. I go back in my hotel, and I had a couple cigars that I had brought down with me. Now, we did shows the weekend before.
Right.
So that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we did shows. Sunday, we were supposed to have 3. I was supposed to fly home Monday morning.
Right.
Sunday morning, I wake up. I get a call from Gary. He's like, hey, man, they canceled the shows tonight. It's going to snow tonight. I called the airport. I was like, I got to get out of here. Everyone was calling the airport.
Yeah.
Monday, they closed the airport. Tuesday, airport closed. Now, I'm talking like there was no food. I literally had no food. Nothing at all. I walked around downtown San Antonio looking for food. there was 2 places that were open, and they were all booked. So it was Ruth's Chris Steakhouse.
Okay.
I'm like, so not only am I looking for food, I got to pay $300 to eat.
Right.
And there was Fogo de Chao.
Okay.
But these were all the reservations were booked.
Of course.
They didn't give a shit. They weren't taking no more people. So I'm like, okay, I can't eat now. So I sat in my room and I ate potato chips and I drank wine and beer, and then until I would get tipsy and pass out.
That wasn't
Go to
that
sleep. Wake up next morning. Hey, what are you gonna do today? I ain't showering today or nothing. I'm drinking chips, or I'm eating chips and drinking wine again. That's what I'm doing. That's what I did. Every day for 3 days I did that. So then 3rd day I had enough. I was like, this is ridiculous. I wake up, I go downstairs, and I'm just down there, and I'm like hungover to shit now. I'm like hungover because I've been drinking. I go out, and everyone's like, it's so cold. It was like 34 degrees. I'm like, I have a hoodie. I'm like,
Yeah.
So I started smoking a cigar like at noon. Smoke a cigar, and I'm just like, man, when is this going to end? Now, mind you, we were already supposed to be back on Thursday for more shows.
Right.
Because we did it back-to-back weekends.
Yeah.
It's just I couldn't go home on that Monday
You ended up
and come back
staying,
Thursday.
right?
So I just stayed. So that Sunday we didn't have shows. Monday snowed in. Tuesday snowed in. Wednesday snowed in. Thursday canceled. Friday, here we go, back to work. Now I have been there all week. I got the same shit. I went to Walmart Friday morning and bought underwear because I had no underwear. I didn't come pack for 2 weeks. I came pack for 1 week. So I had to go buy more underwear. Then I bought lunch meat. I'm like, it might snow again here. I need lunch meat in my room.
Provisions.
Yeah, and I had no fridge in my room. I'm like putting ice in the sink, putting the lunch meat on the ice, pouring more ice on top of the lunch meat, bread on a counter. I'm like, at least gotta have a sandwich.
You can't make this shit up. When you look back on these 2 years, hopefully we look back on it and just laugh our ass off.
Just laugh about it. Yeah. It's just it's insane, man. And then literally like so that Friday came, we did 3 shows. That Saturday we did 4. That Sunday we did 3.
Okay.
And then that Monday I changed my flight to the first thing smoking. I wanted to get out of San Antonio so bad that shit you not. That Sunday it was 78 degrees.
Of course.
I left, it was 82 degrees when I left.
Of course.
All the snow was melted. Guess what was still on the road? That fucking sand.
Oh, that had to be a mess.
Sand still on the road. I'm like,
Texas is pretty wide open, right? I mean, for the most part. Someone told me that the Rangers, like the baseball team, the Rangers, they're full capacity with no mask.
There was just 38,000 people at the game.
Wow, man.
Just sitting by each other and high fiving and tonguing each other down. I don't know. Just, hey, you want COVID? I want it. Give it to me. Thanks, I'll take it. Thanks.
Where's your personal level of comfort? Does that freak you? That freak you out right now?
Well, here's the deal. All right, so there's several levels to this. Like,
okay.
Do I think there's a conspiracy? I don't know what to think. I just know that I had COVID. Mm-hmm. I had it, and Gary gave it to me. He says it on stage. Gary gave it to me. He gave it to our whole camp. His road manager, our boys, everybody. He gave it to everybody.
Right.
We were in Phoenix, Arizona when we caught it, and I came home and gave it to my wife and my kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things that is highly spreadable, contagious. Am I going to live in fear of it? Absolutely not.
Right. Right.
There's other shit. I mean, I'm from Alaquippa. Walk through that motherfucker. That's worse than COVID. Right? Go to a bar and quip. You won't catch COVID. You got to worry about a dude named Malik. Motherfucker. Fuck COVID. That's all I'm saying. I mean, it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, I get it. There's because I had it, and when I had it, I was pretty sick.
Yeah.
I had a temperature for about 6 days.
Right.
I had it for literally 14 days. Day 15, I woke up, fever gone, everything gone.
Yeah.
I had a dry cough. I had a headache. And then, tested negative, and everything seemed to be okay. I had like a little itch in the back of my throat. But the bigger part of this is this. So there's this vaccine out right now, and I was dead set against it.
Yeah.
Like dead set.
Why? Why?
Well, I was set against it because, all right, so there's this thing, and not to even be political or racial or anything, but if you really want to look into it and dig into it, Tuskegee Airmen. I don't know if you know the story or not.
Yep.
They did a lot of testing of vaccines on black men.
Sure did.
And it just made me weird to think about. First of all, we're living in this day and age, and second of all, I got to get a vaccine. But then I started thinking about it. Like, there's no more polio. You want to know why? Because people took the polio vaccine.
Yeah.
There's no more scurvy. You want to know why? Because people took the vaccine. Like, so I'm thinking about it. I'm like, my daughter, my family. I am on tour. I came home and gave it to them once, and we escaped. Maybe that's God telling me, hey, take care of yourself. So I went and got the first round.
Right on.
And my second round is next Monday. So that's Pfizer. Luckily, into that Johnson & Johnson, I heard people were getting blood clots.
That's probably overblown, though, too.
Well, yeah,
that's 6 people out of 60 million?
Right. Yeah.
I mean.
But I just rather have it and just be alive. And then if
totally get it.
And people are like, you don't know what they're putting in your body. I'm like, you know what? I've smoked weed before. I don't know what the fuck that is. I drink. I don't know.
Turn the Twinkie bag over and look at what the ingredients are, and you tell me you understand what the hell's on that.
Exactly. Nitrate acid or whatever the fuck. Aluminum.
It's funny too. Like, on the other side of the equation, what cracks me up is I ain't wearing a mask. I got my rights. Well, you drove the speed limit here because there was a sign that said, if you want fine, drive over the speed limit.
There's laws in place to protect you from yourself.
Come on, exactly.
You got to be protected from yourself.
Exactly.
And not only that, like just don't be ignorant. Like, and you will wear a mask if you have to go on an airplane, or you won't get on the plane.
Exactly right.
I was on a plane a couple weeks ago. They landed the plane and kicked the guy off because he refused. He wore it onto the plane to get on.
Yeah.
But when he got on, he refused.
Why is it so difficult just to be kind to the other person? I mean, if you just live your life like that,
not only
you
that,
can be funny or coarse or whatever you want to do.
You don't know what this guy got going on, and if he's taking it home to his grandmother or whatever it is. And you don't know if you got it. You could be asymptomatic,
It's just selfishness.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
People just, this is one thing where people just aren't caring, and I try to stay away from the politics, man.
Yeah.
But
I think you successfully maneuver that stuff. You do.
I gotta get around that because what happens is you start to divide, and I'm nowhere near the level of my career where I can say, okay, I want all the Democrats to follow me, or I want all the Republicans, fuck the Democrats, to follow me. I'm more or less like, hey, do you like to laugh? Oh, okay. Hey,
follow
Asian,
me.
do you like to laugh? Hey, black guy, do you like to laugh? Hey, white guy, you Indian? You like? Okay, check this out. And that's me.
Yeah.
And it's not me running from anything or speaking out, because I will speak out when things happen, like,
Well, of course.
Like with cops killing black men.
Absolutely.
Now, do I think they're resisting arrest? Absolutely. Should you resist? No, you shouldn't resist arrest.
Yeah.
But do I think there's a threat? You'll be stupid to not think that.
Of course.
There wasn't. Luckily, it hasn't touched home or anyone near me. The one kid in North Versailles, he got shot or whatever. I mean, that was as close as it got to me. But I'm a guy who lives my life like this. Like, if I get pulled over, yes sir, no sir, give me a ticket. I'll take the ticket. I ain't gonna talk shit to you. Give me the ticket. I can fight. I can pay that. That's nothing. Go home to my family.
Right.
I want to see my kid.
Absolutely.
I have 2 kids. I want to, I'm going to my family. Here's your little $180. Have that. I won't even drive in that part of town again. Because fuck you. You might be looking for me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's how I see it. Man, other than that, man, comedy is one of those things that I'm fortunate to still, because I think right now I'm like, well, it's starting to come back now. I see other comics are starting to work now and it's starting to come back.
What do you think
a
of
little
the
bit.
drive-in shows?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. And I did I did 2 Zoom shows, and I'm never doing them ever again.
Talk to me about that. What was so difficult?
Zoom shows, man. Comedy's interactive. It's personal, right? It's close. It's up front. It's, hey, look at your outfit. Hey, what the fuck? Oh, you know, it's more that. Whereas Zoom, comedy gives you, it's the only job where you get initial feedback immediately. Zoom, it could be a bad internet connection. It could be something's off. It could just be anything. You're not getting the initial feedback. You're looking at faces on the screen, and you're telling your set, and you're hoping that it's going over, because they're not. I've done them where
you can't feel it.
You can't feel it. I've done it where they're all muted. But you can see them like, or you can see them, or you see a guy like, this ain't funny to me. I don't even want him here. You know, like, you know,
but you can't even engage that guy in a typical circumstance. If you chose to engage them,
I can engage the guy,
right.
And then what happens when you engage a person is you take the attention off yourself, you put the attention on that person, and then everybody around them starts to laugh. Right. Well, you know, this guy's known for being a crab ass at work. You know, it's just such a weird and creepy thing.
I get it.
It's like, okay, so you play the guitar, right? Mm-hmm. You've played in bands before?
Yes.
Okay. And you play in front of live audiences, right?
I did on a couple occasions, yeah.
Yes. Okay. So that feeling when you're rocking out and people are giving you immediate feedback.
That's awesome.
They're like, oh, they're clapping. And after the song's over, they clap. So it would kind of be like you giving your all in this room with these cameras on. And you're just in here rocking out by yourself. You got to have a different level of brainwave. It ain't the same as if you have people here. Oh wow, he has a nice voice. Oh, look at that chord. Look how he segued that song. Like it's a difference. So I've been commissioned to do it 2 times, and I took the gigs because what I did was
they were virtual, like through Zoom.
Through Zoom.
Okay.
And what I did was I took the gigs. And when I took them, I overcharged on purpose. Now, whether they're watching this now, I don't care because I'm never doing another one. But I overcharged on purpose because I didn't want to do it.
Got it.
And then both times they were like, okay. I was like, damn, I could have got more. Like, I told you I wanted $2,000. You're like, okay.
No problem.
Does that mean I could have got 3? What does okay mean? I mean, I'm going to take the 2, but you know what I mean? So it's one of those things, man.
Driving though with those beeping the horns and shit like that. That is so freaky.
That is you want to do comedy so bad that you'll take anything you're grasping. I'm not doing that. I'd rather do comedy, and you see comedy. The nearest person should be this close. Right. I'd rather do comedy if you were sitting 40 yards away from me and do it that way than do in a drive-in or put you 10 feet away from me in social distance, or whatever you got to do. Yeah. I did 4 months without telling a joke, and there has never been 1 week in 15 years that I didn't grab a microphone. Not 1 week in 15 years. Wow. I've been on comedy 20, and every week I've been like, hey, every week. On vacation, I'll find a comedy club when I'm on vacation. Right. I go to Ocean City, go to Myrtle Beach, go to Florida, wherever I'm at. Find a comedy club. Walk in. Hey, I'm T-Robe. I'm from Pittsburgh. Yeah. I'm decorated. Here's my credentials. Yeah. Can I get on stage? Can I do a guest set? Yeah. Go in. Hey, what's up? Blow the house away. Here's my card, man. Please come back. You killed it. Right. Yeah. Let me do 6 minutes. I'll kill you in 6 minutes. Let alone an hour. You know what I mean? So it's.
I like the way you handled. You must have been getting some pushback from people about, how can you go out there and do that or whatever they were saying.
Did you see that post?
I thought it was fantastic, and I think I reached out to you after that too, to tell you it did. But I thought the way you handled that was pragmatic, cutting, direct, and then you were done. You said your piece and you were done.
Yeah.
But I thought that it needed to be said, and there wasn't, I don't think, enough Pittsburgh entertainers that had the balls to say what you said at that moment.
I got reached out to by every comedian, everybody, like, you, and a lot of friends, a lot of people I haven't heard
I can
from.
imagine. I can imagine.
I mean, I think the post had like 500 likes on it, and probably
like an
400
hour.
comments.
Yeah, I remember.
Comments. People were just like, dude, keep doing your thing. We're proud of you.
Yep.
And I'm like, listen, I already had it. I have bills.
Of
I
course.
have a family. I have an 8-year-old daughter.
Right.
That shit costs. My car payment,
No doubt.
mortgage payment, all that stuff. That costs. And I tell people all the time, like, am I scared to go out? Yeah, but am I literally kissing people in the mouth when I tell comedy?
Right.
No.
Right.
I go from my hotel room
Right.
to a green room.
You're taking precautions.
And I'm taking precautions. I got the mask on the whole
Absolutely,
time.
right.
I masked up on the flight.
Right.
I get inside my hotel room. I got my lights off, my wipe downs, all that. Then I get, it's time to go to the venue. We have a rental car.
Yep.
Me and Gary are always together. 2-man show. We have different mics. We're talking extreme precaution.
I get it, man.
And then you can't touch us. Show's
Right.
over. Good night. We're back in the green room.
Right.
I'm in the green room eating, drinking. Next show, hey, what's up, all of us? Same thing. So I'll tell you, I caught it from Gary. I didn't catch it from
Understood.
somebody from these shows that I've been doing.
But the bigger picture of that whole statement to me was, people need to stay in their lane, mind their own business, take care of themselves and their family the way they best seem fit, but don't interrupt into someone else's decision to earn a living and take care of their family in a safe, proven manner.
Well, not only that,
it was
here's
ridiculous.
the other thing with that, I'm a stand-up comedian, right? So I'm self-employed.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have a 401k. There's no retirement
Hear
plan.
what this man says?
There's no retirement
I'm there
plan.
with you, pal. I'm a
There's-
1099 employee, buddy.
I have health insurance because I'm married and I have health insurance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and that's funny how that happened. I had a toothache. I met her. I'm like, you got insurance? She's like, yeah. I'm like, you want to get married? She's like, yeah. I'm like, toothache fixed. Shout out to you, Missy. You know what it is. No, it's a thing where I said to myself, either you're gonna get out there and take care of business, or your world's gonna crumble.
Right.
And literally, I was looking at
Of course.
4 months.
That's what you do.
Then unemployment came out, and they like denied me for that, and I was like, okay, so I can't get unemployment. I'm self-employed. Like, I mean, what am I supposed to do?
Right.
So I had to go to work, and then I started getting like these emails
Of course.
from fans, like fan emails. I'm like blocking people. Like, I'm maxed out on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm at 5,000. I'm verified on Instagram now.
I saw that. By the way.
Verified. That's good.
Mr. Blue Check.
Yeah, I got the blue check. They reached out to me. They're like, "Hey,
So cool.
You want to get verified? We see you
They
doing
used
this."
to
They're watching your account.
Yeah.
They're watching your account, and they go, "We see you're on tour. You look
Well,
like you're doing
be.
good, and boom, we like to verify
should
you."
be.
Then they asked me for a copy of my driver's license, and I was like, "Wait a second." They're like, "No, we are Instagram. Like, how do you think we have your info?" And
Some guy in Malaysia in some basement somewhere.
Right. So I sent it, and they sent back like in 30 seconds, "Thank you." And then I logged out of Instagram, logged back on.
Poof.
Boom.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's so funny how they can do that. Just bang,
Of course. Now you handled that crowd. I'll never forget that needed to be said. And I was waiting for someone of your stature locally in Pittsburgh here, even regionally, somebody to push back, because there had to be some rational pushback. And I think everybody was afraid to do it.
Yeah. And I kind of basically was like, "Hey, if you don't like it, don't come around me.
Exactly.
See me when this shit's over."
Exactly right. When you were
I'm not even doing comedy in Pittsburgh. This is all everybody who's on my Facebook. I'm not even doing. You won't even see me here.
I get it.
I'm traveling.
I get it.
And I'm worried about my.
But you're going to Detroit now, right?
I just went to
You
Detroit.
went to Detroit. So you were that's Michigan. I thought they were on this strict lockdown. What's going on up
Man,
there?
We had 150 people at the show. I did that same thing.
It's
Like,
very
don't touch
interesting.
Me. Hey, boom, 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 boom. That's my
Yeah,
time. Check. Boom.
yeah.
Car.
Yeah.
Drove right back home.
Got it.
Like, I literally drove up, did the show, and drove back home that same night.
Right on.
Was home at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the only reason I did that is because, all right, you got to imagine my life, okay? I'm on tour. I'm doing like, 30 to 40 cities a year.
Okay.
I just come from Baltimore on that Monday morning, and that Tuesday I had to drive to Detroit.
Wow.
I drove back from Baltimore, slept in my bed one time, woke up the next morning, tired, don't want to do it no more.
Here we go.
I need that check. Same guy that was crying 9 months ago. I don't got a job. Same guy. I don't got a job. I don't know how I'm gonna make money. I gotta eat. I'm a little chubby. I gotta keep that going.
Opportunity.
You're right. And now I'm like, fuck. I gotta wake up in the morning and drive to Detroit. Guess what? Got up.
Yeah.
Drive to Detroit, man. Go get the money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the money's sitting there, and saying, "Hey, come get it."
Right on.
You just gotta make the drive. Once I get there and I grab the mic, the adrenaline goes.
Yeah, you're golden.
Then I start cutting up. Then I get off and I'm like, now I gotta drive home. In the dark, nighttime, by myself, eating Skittles and shit.
That's a pretty long drive from Detroit through the night.
4.5. 4.5.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh.
Go ahead, you can Google it right now. 4.5.
Depends on what speed you're rolling.
Well, 85.
Okay.
I'm pushing 85.
Yeah, I would think.
Listening to Tupac and Biggie, just chilling, cruising. And I got a nice car to drive in, too. So.
Yes, you do.
Yep. I just bought a new car a little bit ago, too, so everything's good.
What are you seeing in terms of crowd? Does it feel different out there?
Besides
looking out and seeing people with masks on, that's got to be freaky as shit.
No, because sometimes they're eating and you can take the mask off when you're eating.
Got it.
You know what I mean? But it's the laughs are lighter. And they're more sporadic. So the jokes are still funny. Trust me, it's just when you don't have 400 people packed into a tiny room. So in here you could probably sit about 6-7 people comfortably, right? Mm-hmm. You could pack this room out and have 10 people in here and it would feel stuffy, right?
Yeah.
So 10 people and you're in a corner playing guitar and people are like, yeah, they're grooving, having drinks. Then imagine putting 5 people in here and you're doing it. It's just... the energy is off.
No doubt.
The vibe's off.
No doubt.
So that's what it is with comedy clubs right now. The energy is like a little bit lower.
Okay.
So you got to come a little harder on stage. You know what I mean?
Right.
Energy is a little bit lower. It dips down. It's a little, you know what I mean? It's not as...
Are people pensive? Like, are they looking around? People, when they get in the crowds, are people a little bit different now?
No, because they got you... now what they do is they don't sell seats. They sell tables. Okay. So that's in the effort, in an attempt to get you to come with your family. Got it. Or to get you to come with people that you know. Got it. So they sell a table, and then if you don't have 4 people you know, I mean, now you got to still buy the whole table. Comedy club still wins. Absolutely. You're buying a table. Oh, well. Oh, that's what it is. So they sell tables, they don't sell tickets now. Interesting. So comedy clubs are winning, you know. Good. They're winning big time. Good. But, hey, they're paying us, so... hey, keep winning. Whatever you guys do. Next time you're back probably Arizona or Texas, you may be playing the full houses. I go to Arizona. Funny, I go to Arizona and Dallas in the next 30 days. I'll be in Tempe, Arizona, the April 29th through May 3rd. Okay. And then in 2 weeks after that, I'm in Dallas, Texas. That's gonna be open. Yeah. I mean, I just hear they're down there wilding out. I know Miami is. By then, I'll have my second shot, so at least I'll feel better. Miami's supposed to be insane right now. Mm-hmm. I mean, Florida in general, but Miami's supposed to be crazy. They shut Miami down. Just like last couple of days? And probably the last 2 or 3 days. I didn't know that. They shut Miami down to the point where, like, they put a curfew on them. And the kids all wild and out there. That's because they're going down there and just spring break and just doing whatever. Miami is, I mean... I'm a little bit older, so I like to go to like Clearwater or Tampa. I get it. I was just in Naples. Naples is amazing. The high end district there. Oh my God, a lot of money, a lot of Bentleys, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Bugattis. This guy let me drive his Bugatti. Wow. He's like, you take it around the block. I'm like, what? I peeled off. He was laughing. I'm like, don't let me don't laugh too hard. I can drive. Yeah, man. Good times, man. I mean, is it pretty much from where you've been though? Would you say Florida, Arizona, and Texas are probably the most open that you've seen? Yes, absolutely. We were just like I said, we were in San Antonio. So at the time when I was there, that was like 2 months ago. We were at 50%, but now they're at full capacity. Got it. Arizona, we're going there on the 29th, right. End of the month. They're at full capacity, and then you got. So glad to see that. Yeah. I mean, people are trying to get back to normal. I'm glad the vaccine's out because, you know, no doubt. At least I know if I get sick, I'm not going to die. Well, herd immunity's got to be coming soon at some point. It has to be. With the vaccine especially, it has to be. It got to be. We got to be months away. Like, I'm talking like 2 or 3 months away. That's what I'm thinking. But it just depends. Like, there's still a lot of people who are like, I'm not getting vaccinated. Yeah, I don't get it. They got to get it. Everyone's pushing for it. And then this whole thing come out with Johnson & Johnson, which made, I have a cousin who's like, see, you don't even know what you put in your body.
People are
I'm
just
like,
looking
dude, you're on cocaine, bro. What are you talking about? What am I putting in my body? What's in the coke? I guarantee you that's been cut 5 times.
How many times I've been stepped on, right?
Yeah, right. It's been cut 5 times by 20 people since the Kingpin sent it over here. 5 people. Fucking, it went to Hector, and then it went to fucking Gonzalez, then it went to fucking Malik in North Carolina, then it came up here to Mike, and then fucking now you got it. Like, yeah, this fucking coke's good because it's making my gums numb.
We're idiots, man.
Yeah.
There's no logic. There's no.
Listen,
There's
you don't know what you're putting in your body
for most of the stuff we
day.
ingest, right?
Yes. Just walking outside and inhaling air.
Yeah,
It was a still town, you know.
You know what? And probably taking that vaccine probably is the most, the least risky thing that you probably will do in your life.
Right.
Really?
You know who got the vaccine that I was like, why? Magic Johnson. What, too soon? Is that too soon? I mean, it's been 30 years. What the fuck? Is that too soon? Why'd you do that, Magic?
You wasted that here.
I mean, the motherfucker got...
Oh, my God, dude.
He got the vaccine. Really? I mean, Magic Johnson is special,
He
man.
is something, though, man. I mean, think about that.
He did a lot in 30 years, man.
At one point, they said that he was AIDS-free. Did you remember that?
Yeah.
It got to some point, it was so low in the system.
Yeah, he's AIDS-free. I'm like, after that, you can just fucking do whatever you want, brother. Like, you don't need no vaccine.
Well, he was like, they gave him like 18 months or 24 months of time it happened, and he made the big announcement, right?
Yeah.
The next thing you know,
Yeah.
he's like buying baseball teams and you know.
The biggest thing was he gained weight.
True.
How you fat and got AIDS? Strained up. I need to get AIDS. I gotta lose some weight.
No,
Cause
man.
Miller Lite.
You good? You want another one? Oh, you got one. All right.
No, I'm good, man. I love it, man. I love it, E. It's always good having good talks with you, man.
Dude.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, go
So you
ahead.
do real estate, right?
I do.
How long you been in that game?
7 years now.
7 years. That's cool, man.
Yeah,
you like it?
I love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got lucky right after the guitar thing. 15 years in the guitar thing, and it kind of went its way, and I had to do something. I wasn't ready to retire.
Yeah.
And I'm unmanageable, so no one's going to take me on as an employee anywhere because I
Yeah.
won't listen to anybody.
Right.
So it was the perfect thing. Now the market's nuts now.
So
you
you-
just built. You know the deal.
Right.
It's insane
Yeah,
right now.
I just sold my house and I got like 10 grand over the asking price.
You should.
So you are one of those guys like does not work well with others.
I don't play well with others. No. I want to. I'm a nice person.
Yeah.
But man, I mean, dude, look what you do. You don't
Yeah.
have a boss.
Man,
If someone was going to come down on you every day and give you expectations and deadlines and all that crap, what would you do?
I couldn't do that. I can't. I don't have it. My personality is not where I could be in order. I'm a rarity. I get that. There's. All right, so my real father passed when I was a young kid. My stepdad, man, me and him are very close. He said to me he was always worried about me because I wasn't really teachable coming up. And someone would tell me how to do something. I'd be like, there's an easier way. Gotta be. And I've always thought that about life.
Yeah.
Like
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I don't agree with 40-hour work weeks, 2 days off, go back, bust your ass for somebody else to get rich.
Amen.
I don't agree with that.
Amen.
I agree with if I put 40 hours in, I want to be compensated like I busted my ass for 40 hours. Because if you think about it, all right, you got 24 hours in a day, right? 8 hours is supposed to be sleep. 8 hours is supposed to be work. And 8 hours is supposed to be fun. Well, guess what work does? It's the only thing of that 8. It's cut in thirds. It's the only thing of that third of that 1/3 that goes into it oversteps its boundaries into something else.
No
Because that
question.
8 looks like 12 now or 10 because you need the hour before to get ready and to travel to work
Or get there.
and then you need the hour afterwards to get off and travel home, and then you're sitting in traffic on both, and all you're doing those 2 hours is worried about getting there and worried about getting home so you can decompress. So now you got 10 hours, and that makes your 8 hours of fun look like 6. and then don't get home and you got kids, and then you got to deal with that shit. Then you got to deal with your wife. Then you got to deal with bills. Now your 6 looks like 3.
Right.
You're telling me life is supposed to be about 3 hours of pleasure every day? Mm-hmm. That's unfair. Mm-hmm. That's why I hustled until I made myself.
I like that. I heard a guy say in a business lecture when I was young, he said, work harder on yourself than you do on your job.
Yeah.
I didn't get that right away. I'm like, what is he telling me? Is he telling me not to work hard on my job? But he was basically saying, whatever you do, find something that is to take care of yourself.
Yeah. So
you don't have to have a job at
You got to be, and I've been told this before, that I'm selfish in certain points in life, and I'm like, you're damn right.
Yeah.
You have to be.
Yeah.
If you're not selfish, like, you're not gonna make nobody happy if you ain't happy. Like you said it in the beginning of this, and this is not even a shout out to sponsors or not. You do this for the love of the game.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't do this because someone's giving you a check.
Nope, don't want it.
You created this atmosphere, and look at it. Look at this. This is amazing.
Thank you, buddy.
This should be on TV.
Thank you, man.
You know what I mean? And it's one of those things that's what has to come out of this, or come out of what you're doing, what Eric McKenna wants to do, right?
Passion.
You're getting your passion, your self-gratification, the things that you love. You turn around, you got your guitars on the wall.
Yeah.
It's even
a little bit of me. It's my history.
You got your history. This is your life, right?
Yep.
So it's self-gratifying.
Yep.
Imagine if someone told you had to go to work every day and make $15 an hour and work 40 hours a week, and only get the 2 days off. You know what I mean? You probably have your schedule set up right now where you can go to work when you want. You can come home when you want. And you're doing all right in life.
20,
you look good to me.
Thank you, man.
You look good to me.
20 years
you know
in, brother. The corporate America thing was good for me. I was in sales, so I still had a flexible schedule.
Right.
Didn't like having a boss. The guitar thing hit. But I will tell you, and I'm sure you can agree, there are times you're going to work way harder on your craft and your schedule than you would ever work for anybody else.
But
it's for you.
What I was always told,
it's for you,
was this: you find something that you love to do, and you find a way to make money in it. You'll never work a day in your life.
I believe that to be true because I think I've lived that.
And that's how I feel about it. I feel like when I go to work to do comedy, like I'm on stage. And someone said to me, you can never tell another joke that you ever wrote. Go do 20 minutes. Here's a microphone. You know what I go back to? That same T-Robe back in the day who said, you guys hiring comedians.
Right.
I'm funny enough and I'm witty enough.
Right.
I can do 20 minutes right now.
It's confidence, man.
Right. Yeah, it's who I am. So I found a way to make money at what I love to do.
Yeah.
And I never worked again.
I heard something similar when I was young as well. I said, if you find a way to marry your passion with your vocation, and really find a way of being substantial enough to take care of yourself and your family, because that is the closest you'll come to euphoria. Outside of sex.
Outside sex, right.
That's what I was told. Like euphoric way of living, right?
Right, absolutely.
I think that's right.
Isn't that amazing?
It is.
Amazing.
You can't explain that though to a lifer who is afraid of entrepreneurship. It's hard to have that conversation.
Well, there's a lot of people who are scared to take a leap and to take a jump into working for themselves, and then you start and granted, like over the years. Working for myself, it wasn't always this easy.
Never is.
The first 10, I think I might have told you before. Like I went through a marriage, and then I got a second marriage, and I wouldn't have been able to do any of this if it wasn't for my second marriage. Like literally, she allowed me to do whatever I had to do, and said, "Go ahead, I got this covered." I had a little girl, got this covered. Go do that show for $100.
Do your thing.
Go do that show for $50. Go ahead and don't get no money. But I understand there's a bigger picture. Now, then she's like, oh, that's what I knew was going to happen out of all this.
Yeah.
So it's
that's the journey of it, man.
It's the journey. Everybody got a story. Everybody got a grind. And guess what? When I can't even tell you. So I do these shows, and I'm seasoned. I'm a seasoned comic.
Right.
I do these shows, and I'm in new cities every week. I travel every week. New city.
Yep.
Get on stage. And it never fails. After the show, people are like, "Where'd you come from? Like, who are you?" I'm like, you don't know me because I ain't on TV every week. I've been on TV before, but you don't know me because you don't know my stand-up.
Right.
Because I'm from Pittsburgh, and you live in you know, you live in Miami or you live in Phoenix, Arizona. But you see me, and it took me to become this type of comic to even get to this stage. That's what it takes to make it. You have to. I mean, you got to have so many shows and so many hours on stage in before you become a seasoned, well-rounded comic. And that's what I try and tell the younger comics. Like, they're like, what can I do to get better? Go to those open mics 2-3 days a week. Get on stage as much as you can. Anything you do multiple times, you become better.
Yeah, work on the craft, right?
Work on your craft.
Yeah,
keep writing. You know,
what is it? Again, not to talk disparagingly about the younger generation, but fuck it, we will.
Yeah.
Why they want? Oftentimes, they seem like they want a quick answer, a quick fix. They want a hack. They want something to and I get that. I mean, I understand.
What people have to understand is this: you got to put the grind in before you're respected, right? No one's going to respect you if you got 2-3 years in because you saw a comedian on TV and you're like, I can do that. Well, for that comedian to get that TV spot, there was years before that,
right?
That you didn't see him.
Years of open mics.
You're not just getting a TV spot. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you know. You're not, because what's going to happen is you're not seasoned enough. You're going to get on there, and the TV camera's going to be in your face, and people are going to be like, "Make me laugh," and you're going to be like, "Hey," and the first joke that doesn't go over, your asshole's going to get tight.
You're stuck.
You're stuck. I've seen it happen a million times. You have to. Comics are a little bit crazy, man. You got to have like the what's the word, for lack of a better statement, je ne sais quoi, or the panache to get past. I tell you a joke and you don't laugh. I even say some shit like, well, that was funny to me when I wrote it, and they laugh at that. You know what I mean? Like, they be like, oh, we see this guy's like lighthearted, like we didn't. No one, you're not gonna shake me. Got it. Because you didn't laugh. Like, I'm going to the next one. Yeah. Oh, you didn't like that one? Now it's a game to me. Let me see what I can do or what I can say to figure this crowd out. Sometimes it ain't always a crowd, it's you and your timing. Got it. Let me see what I can do to figure this crowd out and see which way I can go. To the younger generation, like if you think you're gonna get there quick, it ain't gonna happen. No matter what.
Why are they deluded into believing? Oftentimes, that's the case. I
just think it's that younger generation, man. That's just how they think. That's
were we that way when we were that young?
We weren't. We were taught hard work.
Yeah.
We were taught, no matter who you were, if you're in our age category, you were taught hard work. You were taught your father went out and busted his ass and provided. You were taught this is a steel town. You seen or know someone who worked at J&L. You seen 100%. Someone going and killing themselves to make ends meet. Right. You understood that go outside and play meant you come home when the lights come on. But you didn't have iPad. You didn't have iPhone. You didn't have computer or laptop. You didn't have cartoon. Cartoons were Saturday morning. That's it. Woke up, eat cereal, cartoons. Saturday morning. Yep. Sunday morning for me was church. Was no, and then football.
There was a rigid schedule to life.
And come home from school, eat your dinner, go do your homework.
Right.
Got like maybe an hour or two, go outside and play.
Yeah.
But go outside and play was a thing. It's not a thing. No. I played outside so much when I was a kid. You know what I mean? We made up games. You know,
and we survived.
You know? Just fine. But now kids are like, oh, phone, iPad. My daughter, 8 years old. I need my own phone. I was like, if you don't get out of my face, you're not getting. I'm like, you can't even use my phone. Let alone get your own.
At 8.
Right. I don't need you swiping and
Good luck, buddy.
Seeing something you don't need to see.
Good luck, buddy. Right. That's all I'm saying. I got a 17-year-old going on 36.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those things, man. And then they think they're, just like every kid, they think they're more mature than what they are, and they think they can handle things that they can. And, you know, that's what a parent's job is, to make sure you guide. And
it's so different today, though. Parenting today is so
it's different. And plus, I used to get my ass beat every fucking day. Every day. My mother was like, what'd you do? What?
You know what's crazy?
That doesn't happen no more. I don't even touch.
Well, you know what's nuts about it is we would often use the excuse that, or parents would often use the excuse, well, I want a better life for my kid than what I went through. So that was the excuse to give them everything. And now we're seeing in the year 2021, we're looking at these 17 to 30-year-old individuals that were raised that way, and we're like, that didn't serve the community very well.
And it's not. It's given and not earned. And that's what I try and teach my daughter. Yeah. You want some money? Yeah. Go clean your room.
Yeah.
Take out the garbage.
There needs to be
dry off those dishes.
Yeah, a component to it.
Yeah. because I'm teaching her, you work for it, you'll get it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm also teaching her, like, if you really want to spend your own money and not ask me for something, the next time your mom goes to Target and you really want that doll, and your mommy can have this doll, and she says no, you can say, I'm getting the doll because here's my money.
Yeah. See, there's something really intrinsically good to that, but we don't do much of that anymore.
No.
Because the credit's so easy, it's easier to flip the card out. Is it a hard conversation to have with the kids? What is it? I'd love to know.
I know this. I know there's a fine line. You can't raise the kids how we were raised, because there's that whole dynamic of they go to school and they see what other kids are having, and you want to make them feel inferior. But but what I try to do is I try to teach my daughter, if she works for it, you can have not only what they have, but you can one up them.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're gonna get that hoverboard. You're gonna get that bike you wanted. You're gonna get, So I started her off. I'm like, you want a phone? Prove to me you can handle it. I gave her an old phone. I said, if you lose this one time, or if it leaves the house one time, you're not getting a phone until you're like 15.
Right.
I said, but if you can prove to me you can handle it. Now, the phone's not even on.
Got it.
She can only use it on Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Only in the house.
I'm with you.
So it's like a mini iPad.
I'm with you.
So the first time I hear, anybody see my phone? You just prove to me you can't handle it. You're not responsible. You got to charge your phone. You got to take care of your phone. So the phone don't even work. You can't call nobody. But guess what? If I leave her with a babysitter, she can message me on.
I see the advantage of it for sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
So,
but dude, we jumped in the back of station wagons and drove down. We rode our bikes without bike helmets.
Right.
We used to make ramps with our BMX bikes. And I mean, we were nuts. And we're somewhat here.
Yeah, fine. Everyone's fine.
Can't do shit anymore, man. Dude, I really appreciate this, man.
Oh, no problem, man.
You gotta get here more often. I know it's so hard for you. Just you always have an open invitation to sit there anytime you can.
I got an idea.
I love ideas.
Maybe every let's say 50, 60 shows, maybe I could come in and co-host with you.
I would love that.
Maybe I sit over there.
I'd love that.
We get somebody here. And boom.
Now listen, folks. You heard him. He proposed it on the show.
On the show.
So I'm going to hold him to that.
Yes. And I'll even do you one further.
All right.
I'll contact some guys I know to come down here and do this.
I would love it.
Yeah. So
I would love it.
I might reach. I get some athletes here.
What about? I would love that. I think. Yeah. I like what we're doing because there's no financial bent to this, man. This is all about a quality conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I want to feature people that are doing cool shit in Pittsburgh and nationally. People that come in. I've had some national folks on, and that's cool.
Yeah.
But I really care about their region. That's my thing.
Yeah.
But man, dude, we could interrogate the fuck out of some people. Bring on here.
Tell me what really happened.
I always say I don't do investigative journalism. You and we could explore that. We just gotta get the right people.
Yeah,
in
man,
here.
I'd love to do it, man.
Dude, you have an open invitation.
I don't have a podcast. I don't have anything else on another level. We had Light Up and Laugh, and I'm not sure
That's
how many.
Fantastic. Talk about that.
Well, Light Up and Laugh is Terry Jones and I. We have it's a web series. You can catch on YouTube. You can go on Facebook, go on Light Up and Laugh. And basically, we just sit and smoke cigars and shoot the shit. It's like 12 episodes out right now. We haven't filmed any in a while though, but because of the coronavirus or whatever. Yeah. But we had Jerome Bettis on, Billy Gardell on. We had
you guys got to check it out. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Khalil
Kane
cool
is on there from the movie Juice.
I saw that one.
Shima Franklin's on. She's a big time comedian who toured with Cat Williams.
Yeah.
Who else? John Knight has been on there. We had Terry Cousins and Mike Logan on. Yeah. A few more. I can't remember right now off the top of the head. But yeah, we had some people on, man. It was a lot of good times, man.
And where's that filmed at?
At Burn.
That's
by
a
Rocky
Burn.
Patel.
That's
Burn.
a Burn.
It's down on the North Shore.
Okay.
And yeah, it was filmed there. So it was great times, man. Good episodes. And we got to work on the sound quality or whatever, but again, we haven't filmed anything in over a year. So
it's been over a year, really?
Yeah. We filmed that prior to COVID, and then we aired it during COVID.
I did not know that. I did not. Okay, that's why I was confused.
Aired it during COVID,
that's why I was
filmed
confused.
it before COVID. So yeah,
we're getting back to normal now, though.
Yeah,
things are getting back to normal.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, man, that's it, man. Thanks for having me,
dude. I appreciate it, and
No
like I
doubt,
said,
man.
I'm going to take you up on that offer. We have to craft a couple interesting shows here. I think I would lose my mind. You sit over here.
Off air, we're going to talk about this. I want to tell you a couple things off air. So,
all right, brother.
Yeah.
All right, friends. T-Robe.
Signing
if you
off.
can't find him, you ain't looking hard enough.
Listen
Google
to
the
me,
man. Connect
Follow
with him.
Eric McKenna Project, man. I promise you, man, this guy's amazing. He has some great guests. I've been watching this whole thing. His podcast is amazing. And I'm on here, right?
Oh, he's on here. Yeah. And I get him back on here. Maybe sitting over there, too. All right, friends. We're out.
All right, peace.
Hello, you're listening to the Eric McKenna Project.